It has become apparent to me that quite a few theists out there cannot seem to decide if religion, faith, or science are good or bad things. I mean, for example, I hear all the time about how we don't need any evidence to know that God exists because all we need is faith. You just have to believe and accept that the Bible is true, and you'll know in your heart that God is real and has a plan for you. But then when creationists tell me that evolution is just a theory and that there's no evidence for it, or that we've never directly observed one species changing into another, they tell me that it takes more faith to believe in evolution than to believe in God. So, setting aside the fact that evolution is an observed natural phenomena, even if faith were required to believe in it, why is that a bad thing again? Because whenever you talk about the faith required to believe in God, you act as if it's a good thing, like it is something to be respected and commended. Yet, when you try to project your need to believe in unsubstantiated claims onto people who accept evolution, not only is that faith clearly insinuated as being a negative thing, but you seem to also imply that having more faith is worse than having less faith. So you can see why these mixed messages are a bit confusing, right? The same approach is also utilized when discussing abiogenesis or the Big Bang Theory. Now, in these cases, the theories aren't as highly supported as the theory of evolution, yet they are in fact scientific theories because they are modeled after the observed evidence. They aren't just wild speculation or guesses because we just have a need to specifically refute Abrahamic theology. But again, there's no faith required to accept the evidence which does support these theories. There's nothing about accepting that the universe is expanding and cooling, or that RNA can self-assemble from its component parts, or that some metabolic pathways can occur naturally outside of cells, which requires blind belief. These are observed phenomena. They happen. Sure, we don't have irrefutable proof that the overall theories regarding the origin of the universe or of life on Earth are 100% accurate. But we do know that we can observe things, and we know that these observations are true. You know, when we have empirical evidence to support our arguments, that's the opposite of having faith. We also have the honesty to admit that we don't know for certain exactly what happened, like what the state of existence was prior to the earliest moments of the Big Bang, or what, if anything, preceded it. But we're working on it. Theists simply assert that their God is the cause for these gaps in our current understanding without any justification whatsoever. Another tactic used to attack philosophical naturalism is to label it a religion. Of course, frequently atheism is even labeled a religion. Again, I'm struggling to determine how this is supposed to be meant as an insult when those who misapply this label are religious themselves. Clearly, they are trying to create a false equivalence between a materialist philosophy and their spiritual one in a vain attempt to prop up their argument. Aside from the fact that the most accepted definition of religion includes belief in a god or gods, which atheism and philosophical naturalism both lack, religion is also defined by structured beliefs. Atheism has no structured beliefs and is simply the rejection of the claim that gods exist. Philosophical naturalism has structure, but I wouldn't consider the acceptance of empirically observed evidence to be on par with the term belief as it applies to the faith-based belief of religion. In addition, scientific theories are not rigid, but rather are subject to alteration as new evidence dictates. Religion is rigid and unchanging. Another increasingly used tactic is for theists, particularly Christians, to attempt to distance themselves from the term religion, even when trying to pin this same term on atheists. Some, like Bill O'Reilly, for example, may claim that Christianity is a philosophy, not a religion. However, that simply does not apply if you believe that Jesus Christ existed as an incarnate deity who sacrificed himself for the salvation of mankind. Jesus Christ is a God, and belief in God is religion, even if you don't ascribe to any other particular doctrine or structured beliefs. Christianity is only a philosophy when you simply consider the things attributed to Jesus and apply them to living your life, similar to what Thomas Jefferson did when he created his own version of the Bible by removing all reference to the divinity and miracles of Jesus. Another way of attempting to dodge the religion label is to claim that Christianity is a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And again, this clearly insinuates that you have, that you chat back and forth with an incarnate deity who now resides in heaven. and thus makes it a religious belief. It's painfully obvious that such people can easily recognize the harm caused by religion, and they are attempting to distance themselves from that. But words have meanings, and there's no escaping the label regardless of how much you desire to do so. I guess if these folks insist on calling atheism a religion, I'll just tell them that it is a personal relationship with reality. The next point I want to discuss is that many theists also will ridicule and deny science when its conclusions contradict their religious claims. Yet, they will try to appeal to science when they think it can support their claims, even though such arguments obviously fall flat. For example, creationists will reject carbon dating, radiometric dating, geology, etc., and then try to twist scientific data ex post facto to claim that it supports their argument. They will completely ignore the fact that plenty of theists agree with the science which rejects their claims, ignore the consensus of scientists that disagrees with them, and claim that there's a vast atheist conspiracy to hide the truth about the existence of their God and how it created the earth. They will appeal to their very own creationist scientists to support their views. Then when their incoherent and misapplied understanding of science is roundly criticized, they'll just pretend like they have the only real experts. Such people are the poster children for the Dunning-Kruger effect. One such scientist is Dr. Georgia Purdom of Ken Ham's Answers in Genesis outfit. She will ramble on about kinds and how organisms never change kinds. She'll define evolution as an unobservable process that occurs over long periods of time, and use words like fitness, not how an evolutionary biologist would, but how a layperson would. I'll link to one of her videos below. It's quite embarrassing. Another way that theists attempt to leverage science in an attempt to support their arguments is to appeal to famous scientists throughout history who have been theists. They'll, they will claim that science and religion aren't incompatible because most scientific discoveries throughout history have been made by theists. However, this is just a red herring because it isn't that the study of the observable universe is incompatible with, say, Abrahamic theology. It's that the very specific scientific evidence renders our understanding of reality incompatible with it. Of course, Christians can believe that gravity exists or that the sky is blue because of light refraction without it affecting their ability to believe. But instead of accepting that specific scientific evidence and theories are incompatible with their belief, they will try to appeal to authority by claiming that since many scientists are themselves Christians, therefore Christianity must be true. And in addition, they'll attempt to present a straw man of our argument that science is incompatible with their religious beliefs. So really all I'm asking for here is really just some consistency among theists when they are presenting their arguments. We can't have this double standard where faith or religion or science are good things, except when they aren't. If faith is commendable, then it should be so in all cases, lest you appeal to special pleading to claim that only faith in your God is a worthy application. We can't recognize religion as harmful while religious people who wish to harmfully force their beliefs onto others try to distance themselves from the label. We can't cast doubt on science when it contradicts our pre-drawn conclusions, but attempt to appeal to science when convenient. You need to pick one or the other and stick to it. That's all I have for now. As always, thanks for watching. I'd like to recommend another YouTuber whose videos I enjoy, and his name is deterlucem. Please check out his channel, I will link to it here, and see what he has to offer. If you enjoy my channel, I think that you find his material enjoyable as well. So don't forget to like this video if you agreed with my points, and also be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget, when debating with theists, to keep calm. It seems legit.